Hi there, and welcome to the Confident Grief Coach Show. Usually it's myself and Cami Thielander who are doing our little conversations, but today you get me. Cami is unable to attend today, so I am just going to do a little sharing of something that we utilize at the Confident Grief Coach School, and it has to do with gratitude. So we have this beautiful manual that we give out to our students, and it is also something that you can get through our app if you're on our Confident Grief Coach Show app. You can get a link through Healing Family Grief if you're interested in that. So there's some free resources there, and I'll put the links in the show notes. So anyway, let's get started. We all have heard that gratitude is just like an amazing thing to help us increase our happy factor, right? But there's more to it than that. So incorporating gratitude in our lives really has a multifaceted impact on not just our emotional well-being, but also in our physical well-being and our psychological well-being. And if something is going to be working on all those fronts, I think it's a pretty good thing, isn't it? Yeah, for sure. So there's been, like, in the many, many years, there's always been this thing like, okay, think of three things that you're grateful for. And maybe right before you go to bed, write down those 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for right before you go to sleep, because it's getting into your subconscious right before you go to sleep. And for me, it's kind of like, okay, so it's percolating like one of those old percolator coffee things that, coffee makers, or like steeping a tea for a while. So overnight, this gratitude is like working in your subconscious because you went to bed and fell asleep with that in your mind. So that is really cool. And that still is a very, very helpful tool. And it's an easy one for people to do. And I know that when I'm doing grief coaching, I encourage people to use a journal, right? And write down those things. I am putting gratitudes in my journaling all the time because it keeps me in that mindset of being grateful for things, even when I'm not feeling oh so grateful, right? So when someone is grieving, right, it's very difficult to sit down and think about what they're grateful for. It's not an easy thing when your heart is broken, to think about, what am I grateful for? This sucks. The stuff that's going on here is pretty sucky. But we know that if we can help people to get into a little bit of reframing and thinking about the gratitudes in their life, the good things that are going on in their life, the people in their life, whatever that may be, it may be just as, I'm grateful that I just got up in the morning and brushed my teeth. That's a win for me, because for the past how many days I haven't even thought about it in my grief, right? So for those of you who are in the depths of your grieving journey, that may be something where you're at. And for those of you who have kind of transitioned and you're moving along, the gratitude is just so, so very important. So let me talk about, I'm going to read off of here because I want to get the research right. But a study published in the Journal of Health Psychology found that having a gratitude practice before bedtime was associated with better sleep quality and duration. Gratitude appears to quiet the mind, reduce stress, and promote a more restful sleep. And we know that lack of sleep is something that does happen when we're grieving, um, because our mind's just kind of racing, and lots of different things going on in the brain with that. So we know that that's kind of the old way of doing gratitude, is doing it right before you go to bed, like I mentioned earlier. But what else does it do for us? Okay. Improves heart health. All right. According to research in the American Journal of Cardiology, grateful individuals tend to exhibit lower blood pressure and reduced risk of heart disease. So, gratitude has a positive impact on our heart health and thus, hopefully, in our overall well being, right? We want our hearts to be healthy. That's an important thing, right? Increase happiness and life satisfaction. Multiple studies, including one published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, have shown a positive correlation between gratitude and subjective well being. Individuals who regularly practice gratitude report higher levels of happiness and life satisfaction. That kind of makes sense, right? That correlates. Stress reduction. Research from the Journal of Personality and Individual Differences demonstrate that gratitude can act as a protective factor against stress and its negative effects on mental health. Grateful individuals often exhibit lower levels of perceived stress, contributing to improved emotional resilience. Enhanced mental health. In a study published in the Journal of Happiness Studies, gratitude was associated with a lower incidence of major depressive disorder and generalized anxiety disorder. Gratitude interventions have been shown to be effective in reducing symptoms of depression and anxiety. And these are studies that are out there where people have been clinically diagnosed with depression, hospitalized with depression, serious depression. And when they started implementing these gratitude exercises in these studies, the participants, the people that were diagnosed with depression, actually felt an uplifting in their mood and their depression lifted somewhat. So that is important stuff because when we think about grief, deep sadness, depression, stress from not being able to sleep, trying to think about how we're going to handle life without our loved one, all of those things are what we're talking about here, and where gratitude and integrating it into your life can be extremely helpful. Increased resilience. Gratitude has been linked to a greater psychological resilience in the face of adversity. A study in the Journal of Positive Psychology found that individuals who regularly practice gratitude tend to recover or move forward more effectively from life's challenges. Let's talk about grief. That's a big one. When we talk about resiliency, it's kind of that ability to move forward, right? We know that the grief doesn't go away, but the grieving, the verb, the action can settle down. And gratitude can help it to be a bit calmer so that it's not the torrential rains and the thunderstorms that are constantly the emotions that are sitting within us, but it's actually maybe like a gentle mist or the sun peeks out a little bit with gratitude. So I wanted to talk about the new way to gratitude, and I adapted this from Andrew Huberman. He has this podcast, and he talked about, this new way and some what they're finding through some MRI imaging and that type of thing of receiving gratitude is actually lighting up the brain more than like even doing these gratitude exercises at night where you write down in your journal. So these are the steps. Step 1, think about a time when someone thanked you for what you did for them. Maybe they said thank you directly to you. Maybe they gave you a hug of gratitude and just held you. They were so appreciative. Maybe they sent you a personal thank you note. So just I want you to think about one time that happened and just sit with that for a minute and think about what was that event that they came to you and thanked you. Then I want you to write down the following points. What was the challenge the other person was experiencing at the time? Bullet number 2, how did you help them? Bullet number 3, how did helping them make you feel? How did helping someone else make you feel? Third step, read through your bullet points, okay? Have them down on paper and think about the situation. Reflect and feel how it felt when that person said thank you. Repeat reading and reflecting on the story for 1 to 3 minutes. So you're really kind of immersing yourself into it and you're just really thinking about that time. And Dr. Huberman recommends you do this 2 to 3 times a week, just really getting in and just reflecting on that. The more you read and reflect on the notes per Dr. Huberman, the faster you'll sink into gratitude until it's almost an immediate shift. So it's actually going to change what's going on in your brain. And so if we had you under an MRI scanner, when you sink into this, it's lighting up areas that are attributed to well-being, better, more well-being, those areas of our brain. So it's a really, really powerful tool, and I actually do use this. And the reason why I'm bringing this up for today is someone, a student, sent me an email the other day. It was graduation, and it so went into my heart, and it was a thank you. Okay, a thank you. And I am sharing it just because I just want to show you how powerful other people may be viewing you of what you've done for them. So let me pull it up. So this individual was one of my class, one of our students in our Confident Grief Coach certification class. Beautiful, beautiful woman. And you could just tell that she was really taking it all in. But she had come with some grief on her heart, some pretty deep grief. And so we actually do some practicums and we're learning about grief in these classes, but we also work with each other and do some coaching regarding various things that come up with grief. And she said basically, I just want to thank you and Cami, who's part of it, and Cindy, who is also one of our instructors. I want to thank you for this program. And then she said, you have found a way to take your own work, your own practice, learnings, experiences, and pass it all forward. Your work will continue to impact so many people throughout the world in ways that you'll never see, just by the nature of sharing what you feel and know. You will have ripple effects on the world for the rest of your life and beyond because of the way you help people help people. Not everyone gets to say that, and I think it's really gorgeous thing that you do. Thank you for sharing it with us all. When I got that, I just sunk in to our class that we had just been in and the emotions that I had being surrounded by these beautiful people that were part of this course and this individual, and just really sank in to this note of gratitude and how I don't even realize how I'm impacting people. And that's not why I go out and do things. And I'm sure that's the same for you. We don't do things often to get the thank you. We just do it because it's who we are. And for someone to reach out and express their gratitude in such a deep way, and maybe it's just that someone, for you, it's you did something for them, you helped them out in some way, and they sent you a text and just said, "Thank you so much. Thank you. You don't know how much this means to me." I know that you have something in your mind's eye right now where someone has reached out to you and thanked you for what you did for them. Take the steps I just talked about and start integrating that type of gratitude time in your day, at least a few times a week. And I'd really love you to reach back out and tell us the shift that you're having in terms of feeling better, stress levels down, heart health is great, and you just really have the energy and the vitality because this lifts you up. And hopefully your sleep is better too. So that is what I wanted to share today. And we'll see you next time with Cami, and looking forward to any feedback. So I just ask that, we're doing this YouTube channel because we want to create awareness and we want to create support. Okay. So if this resonates for you, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to our channel, because the more that we get that, the algorithms and all this computer world, it helps us to get these out to be seen more. And we are here to hopefully provide valuable information for you in a short period of time while we're on the video. So again, please like, subscribe, and if you think this is valuable, share it with others, okay? And I would love to hear your comments on that you tried this, or this sounds really exciting to do, and just really hear about how maybe you can integrate this gratitude exercise into your life. Thanks for listening, and we will talk to you next time. Bye-bye.